Hi Bromies, it's your boy Ricky here with Bromero Cards. I hope you're having a fantabulous day. Today I am here for Honeybee Stamps and we are going to make a card using some of their latest products along with some colored paper, some paste, some oxide inks, all the great things. So we're going to go take a look at what we're going to be using today, but before we do that, there's a few things I would love for you to do. First of all, thumbs up this video. Second of all, leave a comment down below when the video is over. Any comment will do. We love to have a little chit chat with you guys. Also, make sure that you click that bell so that you know a new notification or a new video is out. And then also just spread the love. Share the video with everyone and anyone that you enjoy. So let's go ahead and look what we're going to be using down at the desk. Okay, so we're going to be using some distressed oxide ink, picked raspberry. We're going to be using a brush. And then we're also going to be using this Sizzix PRISM paste. Someone, I believe it was on Facebook, someone used this on a card and I was mesmerized and I was like, I need to use that. So I bought some and we're going to use it on this card today. Hopefully what I envision on this card actually works because, you know, doesn't always work. But yeah, I want to use this stuff because it looks so cool. All right, we're going to be using colored cardstock here, black, white, a white card base. We are going to be using the Lovely Layers Dianthus. We are also going to be using the Honeybee Stamps Mini Messages Every Day. Comes with a matching die here with the different style banners or strips that you would like. And we're also going to be bringing out an oldie but goodie. This is Scattered Leaves. We're going to be using this as well. All right, so let me go ahead and get the first step set up and I'll be right back. Okay, so one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get the paste onto the paper so that it has time to dry while we are doing the other things. So we're going to go ahead and take this paste. And you guys, I love it because it's like a prism inside. It's like super cool. It's got like chunky glitter. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can hold it up. And it's just super sparkly. So I really wanted to use this to see what it's like. So we're just going to stir it up real quick. And then we're going to take some and just spread it all along the card here. Oh, this is kind of like jelly. It's not like a regular paste. That's interesting. I don't need that much. This tool is pretty cool. I got it from Sizzix. They sent it to me a while back, but I haven't had a chance to use it because I hadn't actually had a chance to open it. But it's a pretty cool tool because you can take off the things from this and put something else on it. So I was like, oh, let's stick a palette knife on there. That's cool. All right, so it looks like this is kind of like jelly. So we want to make sure that we have sparkle kind of like everywhere on the card. And I'm pretty sure when I pick this up, it may not work out because the glitter chunks are a little bigger than the leaves area. So we're going to see what this looks like. You know what? It'll work. There's not a lot, but we're going to use it. But what we will do is I'm just going to scrape off the glitter here and put it back in the container because I don't want to waste the glitter. It could be used on something else. Okay, so now that we have the backgrounds done, we're going to go ahead and start doing the die cutting for the flower. And so I've pulled out a couple different pinks here. I've also pulled out 2 greens. And what we're going to do is go ahead and cut out the green of the stem of the flower. And then we're also going to cut out the leaves. But I want to do that just in a different color. I'm not for sure if I like this color yet or not. So we're going to cut it out and then we will decide if we're going to be a fan of it. So what I like to do is just put cut this way. And because this usually has details in it that I want to show up in the paper, I like to put a shim on the details here just so that they have like a deeper impression. So let's go ahead and run this through the die cutting machine. And then let's check out, see what this looks like. This is perfect. And then let's check out the leaves here. Yeah, this is good too. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it does have the details into the leaf. So these are perfect. Okay, so I know I said I would just cut these offline, but I did want to show you how I did these because each layer cuts out all the same color for each flower. So I just wanted to show you the 3 different colors we're using. I am also going to use a shim on this because they do have details that I want showing up, and we'll run this through the die cutting machine also. And then let's just take a look here. Oh yeah, perfect. Those are great. All right, so I'm going to take all these out, and then I will be back with the next step. Okay, so we have all of our flowers cut out, and these are the little pieces. I have them lined out to show you what they look like. And what I thought I would bring in some color into each one of these because they're all going to be layered on the same flower, and I don't want it to look flat. So I thought what I would do is just bring in some color and place them on here. But what I realized is that this brush is a little too big, so I'm just going to pull out one of my little blending brushes that I have here, a small one, and we're going to do a little detailing from that. So I thought what I would do is just start out first with picked raspberry to see what this looks like, and then we could go from there. So let me hold this up. You can see that there's details on each flower here. And you're basically just going to put the color where the details are because that's the only place that the flower is actually going to show. So that's what I thought I would do and just see, kind of just do a little ink blending here. I really didn't stick these down too much. And then just kind of give it a little color along the edges. That might be a little too much color. That's all right though. It's all right. All right, so there we go. We have color on each one of these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off and we'll set up to start putting the flower together. Okay, so we have all of our flowers here. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. There we go. Let me move these guys down. All right, so here's all of our little flowers, and I'm going to be using the Honeybee Stamps super thin strips here. Like, they're super thin, you guys. I love these things. And when I do these lovely layers, I like to have dimension on them, but I can't use regular 3M foam tape because, or just regular foam tape in general, because it's just a little too thick for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first set here, and what I'll do is I'll glue these the first 2 layers together so that it's just kind of like all one layer. And then also, just to let you know, if you need these, if you need it, there is a layering guide that comes along with the dies, which is here, and it shows you how to layer everything. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this glued down, and I'll probably use some tweezers here, the Honeybee Stamps tweezers, and we'll just glue this down onto the first layer here. All right, so this is the first layer that we have down. Then what I'll do is I'll take this piece of this layer, and then I'll glue this here. And then to give this dimension, what I'll do is I'll take a strip and I'm just going to cut. I actually cut this strip in half here because I knew that I would be using them and I needed to cut them down. So we're going to put one there. And then we'll put a layer here. And then we'll take the backing off of these guys, or this one. And then we will put this layer here. So while it's not a lot of dimension, it's enough to make it look like a flower. It's not like super lifted or raised, but I mean, you could see it's barely raised. But I think it makes it look a little more realistic. And then what we'll do is we'll just put the very last piece on, and then this flower will be complete. So that's the completed flower. So what I'll do is off camera, I will go ahead and put the remaining of these together, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so now we're gonna put the stem together here. Let me wipe off my hand, I just got glue on it. And we're just gonna take the leaves and just place them onto the stem here. Nothing super complex here or hard. All right, so I think these greens are gonna be okay together. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the flowers on here, but you know what? I think I'm gonna pop them up. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty, you guys. It looks so pretty. All right, so I'm gonna put some sentiment strips, or I'm sorry, foam strips behind this. And again, these are super thin, so it's not gonna put a lot of dimension, but it's gonna be enough to be noticeable, and I like that. Hot tip, if you have big old man hands, then use your tweezers to take off the backing. All right. Ooh, that's so pretty, you guys. I love that. Ooh, this, you guys, that's stunning. Look at that. Very pretty, so delicate. Alrighty, let's get set up for the next step. Y'all, I spoke it into existence. Remember I was telling you about the lovely layers, flowers that I just recently used on one of the cards. It's Lovely Layers Autumn Bouquet. I was starting to look at the card and I was like, this is gonna need a little something extra. So I'm gonna be using these leaf sprigs and I'm gonna cut them out of vellum. So this is actually making it into the card. I'm glad I said that because it reminded me that I have it and that I can use it on this card. I think it's going to make a really nice detail that may be just minor, but I think it will be helpful to the card. So I'll be right back. Okay, so up next, I wanted to make my own colored paper to kind of match the flowers, and I'm going to do this with the picked raspberry. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink blend the picked raspberry all along the edges here. I only need to do the edges because that's all that's actually going to show, and I'm actually probably ink blending too much of the edges. honestly. But I just want to have my own paper. I wanted to match the flowers that we did. So what easier way to do that than just to ink blend it yourself. So that's what we're going to do today. This is always something you can do to get your own ink color or your own colored paper, especially if you want it to match something that you used Oxide inks on. It's going to be perfect for this. So I think that's good. And we got that done. Okay, so the last step is to go ahead and create the sentiment. I'm going to do happy birthday from the mini messages every day. So we're just going to place this onto the stamp block. Of course, we're going to do white heat embossing because that's just how we do. Let's do some, make sure no powder sticks to that. And I'm going to be using a die to cut this out. So there we go. And then we're going to use our unofficial, official embossing powder catcher here. Perfect. So I will go ahead and heat emboss this off camera along with cut this out with the die that matches this. Okay everyone, we're in the home stretch now and this is everything that we're going to be using. I actually decided to keep this piece with the separate, with the details of the leaves. I decided to keep that. It had enough sparkle and I just think it looks really nice. So I thought I would just go ahead and keep that. So what we're going to do is we are going to glue this down to the ink or to the paper that I made to match the flowers. It's a little off, but it's not so much that you can tell. And then also like it's super thin along the edges, so it's not too bad. Let's see here. Good thing I was using some liquid glue there. All right. So we have that down. And it's, as you can see, it's just super thin along the edges, so it's going to be fine. And then we're going to glue this to the card base. Which is also going to have a thin border around it. Again, important to use liquid glue for this. And we're just going to lay this stuff on top of there to keep that flat for a second. I am going to pop this up with even more dimensions, so we're going to be using more of the sentiment or the foam strips here. So I'm just going to place that on the back here, just kind of do one across here. Alrighty, and then we're also going to do one across the back of this banner, which happens to be the exact width of the foam tape, which is amazing. And almost the same length, but that's okay. So here is the vellum tree sprig thingies. I'm thinking about maybe having them here, putting the Dianthus like here, and then the happy birthday here. And I think this is how I like this. So we are gonna glue a few of these down. I do want the top sprigs to kind of be loose. So we're just going to put a little glue there. Okay, so now that this is dry and it's stuck down to the paper, we're going to go ahead and put our flower down onto the card. I think I'm going to place it about right here. That looks good. And then we're going to take this sentiment. Here we go. And I think I'm going to place it about right there. I want to make sure it's straight. I think that looks good. All right, and we have the completed card, you guys. Check that out. It's really beautiful. It's kind of bright in here, and it's all white, so it's kind of hard to see. I'll show it here in a moment, but what I love about this card is the sparkling detail in the paste. I love that. And I do love the matching paper that matches the flower, and just using the different colors of cardstock and then adding ink to it to give a little bit of dimension. So this card it's got a touch of fancy. It could have been a wedding card. I chose a birthday card because I need to make sure I have birthday cards on hand, but this would have been a beautiful wedding card. But let me hold this up this way so you guys can see it. You can see all that sparkle, the leaves. It's really nice, very pretty. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Make sure that you head over to Honeybee Stamps and check out all the latest products from their latest release. Also check them out over on Facebook and Instagram and all the socials. And then you can check me out by searching for Bromero Cards over on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So until next week, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!